It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Niners and the Birds, and it's coming up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
Purdy's throw taken in by Samuel. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses.
Well, I would have figured up to the 9-yard run on the previous play. Getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep is Britton Covey, fielded just inside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, hang on here because DeAndre Swift injured on that last play and in need of a little assistance. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. They go play action with Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
They need about the length of the football here on 1st and goal. Swift is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt? Turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-2. A 10-play drive that time. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Back to throw, Purdy. That is incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy. This is Jennings. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Fielded at the 20. Well, very good return that time. 18 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Purdy. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding. Purdy
connects with Kittle underneath. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They do get a yard there, but only a yard leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. And they'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jennings. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. And they'll run it here. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jennings. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as the tackle going to be made up at the 37. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down and 7. Play action. Here's Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
And there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On first and 10, it's Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. Hurts. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And they're going to speed things up here. Hurts sets up to throw it. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Jake Moody now for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game. Hurts now hoping to make up for that pick six. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. Wide open. Complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On first down, Hurts. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be...
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Elliott on for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And a long run there in the end to top it off. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
First down, San Francisco.
So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Here now, 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. There he goes, left side. And finally they get him to the ground, but it's all the way down at the Niners' 19-yard line. 106 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So it's 3rd and 1. The defense, they stacked the box, and that's the problem. You break through that first level, there's no second level.
And most good running teams work against stacked defenses. They don't care if you have 6 in the box, 7 in the box, 8 in the box. It doesn't matter to them. Block people, give your running back a chance because it could pay off big as it just did there.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge, maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out, you can run wide receiver routes with him, you can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
A 27-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball.
Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. McCaffrey running up the middle. Dances by him. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that will bring up second down. Now we give right side McCaffrey. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
First and goal at the 10-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Purdy bootlegging it to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Up the gut, McCaffrey. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing the...
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Brock Purdy, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. On the return, Boston Scott. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And taken right on the 30. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Purdy to throw it on 1st down. Connects with Kittle underneath. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with a quicker guy and sometimes even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with a slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Second down and right back to McCaffrey.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big deal.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Hurts and the Eagles now down 20-17. Less than 90 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
And that's complete to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll come up now on second down.
A 4-yard loss brings up 2nd and 14 at the 46-yard line.
He's back to throw. That one complete down the field. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the 49ers have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it. And that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this one all over. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second-half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.